What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your Love and Hip Hop New York review, season 9, episode 11. So, this episode didn't give me a whole lot. But let's talk about it. It was a few things. We start the episode off with the girls, Sin, Juju and Kimbella getting together, and they're congratulating her on the engagement and everything. And Kimbella is on cloud 9. Like, her happiness is genuine. It is no playing, no putting on for the camera. It is genuine happiness. Even to the point where she's sort of just over the whole situation with Yandy. She's like, ain't nobody gonna stop this joy. Like, nobody. Yandy, nobody. And so they're talking about, Sin said that her and Joe are in a better place. She was like, we went to therapy. She said, things are heating up in the bedroom again, and we've been taking the advice the counselor gave us about making time for each other. And she said every night when I put the baby down for bed, we just spend 20 minutes just talking to each other about whatever, and it's just been, it's been incredible. And again, she's happy, and you can see her happiness is genuine, right? She said she still ain't ready for a nanny. She was like, baby steps. But she didn't say absolutely positively not, which is where she kind of was at the beginning. So I'm like, okay, we got some love going on. The couple's getting it together. Then we have Juju. They got to take a trip every year. So the trip this year, Juju says she's got a hosting in Costa Rica, and she wants to invite the girls. And she tells Kim, look, I'm going to invite Yandy. So I'm letting you know now, Yandy's going. And that's when Kim was like, give a damn about none of that. It's whatever. I'm going to have me a good time. I don't care. All right. If you like it, I love it. Cool. Then we get to the baby shower, which we saw pictures of the baby shower online and stuff. It would look like it was really, really nice. It was a soda. I mean, not soda. Yeah, like a malt shop, grease type theme. With the malt shop and the 1950s dresses with the black and whites. And it was really cool. It was a really, really cool theme. Like, Remy be coming up with some really cute parties. So it was a really nice theme, and everybody looked like they had a good time. On the way home, Yandy and Yandy and Juju were talking, and that's when Juju invites, Yandy to Costa Rica and everything. And, Yandy was like, look, I know that you and Safari ain't really chilling. Juju was like, So something went down with her and Safari. She said that basically she feels like her and Safari's relationship is one-sided now, and that they were really good friends at one point, but she feels like he never calls to check on her. He never calls to look out for her. So she feels like their relationship is very one-sided, and she's kind of like over it. But Juju was like, look, he's kind of in the middle of, going through some stuff or whatever. Can I invite him to come? And Juju says, yes, he can come. But, she was like, basically, that's your friend. That's your guest. Keep him over there. All right, cool. Then we have a scene with Miss Maggie and Alexis Sky clearing the air. Alexis is showing some really good growth. Like, she didn't have an attitude. She didn't go off. She didn't flick off on nobody. And Maggie, who we don't know that well, but Maggie seems like she's a reasonable person too. And they actually was talking, and Maggie was like, look, this ain't on you. He knew I wanted to be on that song. He knew I wanted to be on that track. It has nothing to do with you. You just trying to make money, and you just trying, you know what I mean? So I can respect that these women handled it like adults. They talked it out and realized that they don't really have no beef with each other. Alexis was saying that basically she's starting from ground zero because, Treadway, they all in jail now. So whatever she had going on is out the window. It's a wrap. It's done. And Maggie was saying how her and Mano are still not really talking because she, what did I just do? Oh, I'm sorry. They're not really talking because she, pretty much giving him the solitary because she was like, he knew how much I really wanted to go into music, and he's just not taking it seriously. And for that, we just not in a good place right now. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get Alexis Sky out the way because not that I feel for her situation, but so the whole thing with her and Solo Lucci saying that he's the baby, the father of the baby, and how she was like, if you do the math, there's no way he could be the father of my child. And, excuse me, my back is itching. And she was like, I'm sick of every time, you know, it comes up on social media. Every time I go on social media, Lucci talking about how he's the father, he's the father, he's the father, blah, blah, blah. So she has a sit-down meeting with Lucci. And basically, Lucci's thing is, look, I don't know about doing no math. All I know is you got pregnant in the realm of when me and you have had sex, and I just want to clear the air once and for all. Just have the daggone DNA test. And once you have the DNA test, then we can squash all of this. But until we have a DNA test, as far as I'm concerned, that baby could be mine. And if that baby's mine, I want to be a part of my child's life 100%. He was like, every time you post a picture of that baby, people are in my DMs. People are on my page. So, yeah, I'm defending myself and I'm saying what I got to say. So, Alexis was like, well, look, once we had a test, you know, and it clears itself up that you are not the father, will you apologize? He was like, no. He was like, what am I apologize for? Like, the baby might be mine. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. And she said basically, you know, the situation with Fatty, she's going to have to just go to court. Because he's still playing back and forth with her. And, you know, she just don't have time for that either. Hey, do what you got to do, boo. If you know that's the father of your child and you need help, do what you got to do, boo. Do what you got to do. So we go to the video shoot for The Golden Child, which I think is a beautiful song. Papoose wrote for his baby, got the baby's heartbeat in it and all of that. And for the video, he's doing, you know, he's on his whole black love thing. And so for the video shoot, it's sort of like, remember when Will Smith did his video Just the Two of Us and he had all the black couples and stuff in it? It's sort of like that. Where he's got a lot of his friends and he had them bringing their kids and stuff. So we had Jewels, we had Mano, Joe Budden, and they all brought their kids and everything. Even Joe's oldest son, who he's been trying to rebuild his relationship with, is there. So they get to talking about everything, and they telling Joe, you know, Jewels is happy. You know, he done proposed to Kimbella. He ready to make this thing work. What's up with you and Sin? And Joe was like, look, we in a better place. Things are good right now. But I just need to make sure they're going to stay there. Like, I'm make sure that we don't revert back to where we were. I just need a little time to pace this thing out. Make sure it's good. And I can respect that. Like, marriage is not something to go into lightly. Especially if you're trying to make it till death do us part. Marriage is not something to play with. And so I can respect Joe saying, look, we hit a rough patch and things are better now. But I need to make sure that we ain't going to go backwards and we're going to keep moving forward before I make that type of commitment. I ain't mad at him, Joe. I ain't mad at you, Joe. Then they talking to Jewels about the wedding. Jewels was like, look, I'm good. I could do it tomorrow. I don't have nothing to wait for. But I told Kimbella, you know, she want to wait until after I get... He don't never say jail. He say my situation. But it's cool. He said, if she won't wait till after my situation, that's fine. You know, but I could do it tomorrow and I'd be cool with that. And, you know, he said a lot of people are basically saying the only reason why, you know, I proposed to Kim is because of my situation. Because, again, he won't say jail. And, you know, what Papoose was saying was people don't understand that that's not easy. Like, it's easy for people to be on the internet and make their little comments, oh, the only reason why he asked her now is because he going to jail. And maybe that was probably what pushed him to finally say, you know what, why the fuck am I waiting? Why am I not, you know, marrying this woman, you know? But at the end of the day, I don't think... Do I think he would have proposed if he were looking at jail time? Maybe not. But do I think that he loves her and he wants to marry her? Absolutely. So, it is what it is. The other thing that came up, they were talking to Mano. And they were talking about... He was explaining to them what the situation was with the song. And they were all letting him know that basically this is you. You made this bad decision. Because he was like, she wanted to be on the song. And I told her, you know, that... I ain't really think that she needed to be on the song. He said, and I went to Alexis Sky. Papoose was like, no. He was like, no. And then he said, well, the name of the song is My Bitch Bad. And they were like, what? Like, how could you not understand why she mad at you right now? Like, the name of the song is My Bitch Bad. She wanted to be on the song. Not only did you tell her no, you offered it to another chick. That's a problem. And he is lucky that the two of them ain't fighting right now. But Mano was kind of like, okay, well. So they decided that they all, well, not Papoose, because of course Jewels can't go because of his situation. And Papoose ain't going because Remy about to drop The Golden Child. So Sin invited Joe to go on the trip because she was like, look, I got the best of both worlds. It's a girls trip in the day, me and my man at night. You know, we've been looking for more time to spend together. We've been looking for more time to, you know, hang out. And I think this would be a perfect opportunity for us to do that. So they convinced Mano that he need to go because he was like, yo, I'm in the doghouse. I need to do something to get myself together. I need to get out the doghouse. So, you know, I got to do what I got to do. Joe talks to Remy and talks to his oldest son about marrying Sin. And his oldest son is like, I'm with it. Like, I think you should. You know, y'all love each other. It is what it is. And he was like, you know, I was really shocked, but I was appreciative to hear what, you know, my son had to say. And, you know, you see that Joe is moving towards that way. He's not going to be pushed. He's not going to be rushed. He's going to do it his own time and in his own way. But I do think that he's made up his mind that that's who he wants to be with. He just wants to make sure it's right. Again, I ain't mad at you. We see a really good conversation between Yandy and Jewels. And Jewels' thing is, you supposed to be my sister. That's my woman. That's my sister. He was like, I feel like the only time I talk to you is when I reach out to you. She was like, well, the only time you reach out to me is when you need something. Because he had texted her about writing a letter to the judge for his situation. And Jewels was like, okay, first of all, that's not the only time I reach out to you. Like, you don't call me anymore. You don't reach out to me anymore. So, yeah, it may seem like the only time I'm reaching out to you is when I want something, but that's not it. He was like, I just feel like why y'all can't work this out. Like, why y'all can't be two women, adult women, and work this out. Y'all supposed to be sisters. He was like, at this point, y'all beef shouldn't be stressing everybody else out. Y'all need to figure out a way to fix it. And Yandy was like, you know what? I felt like I was caught in the middle. It sounds like whatever happened between Jewels and Kimbella, when whatever the last fight they had or falling out they had, it sounded like it had a ripple effect. Because last week we found out that Jewels and his brother are sort of not really speaking, because when him and Kimbella had a falling out, Kimbella got mad at the brother because however the brother handled it. Now it sounds like Yandy's saying the same thing. Like, look, I was tired of being in the middle, so I stopped calling you. I stopped calling Kim because I felt like I was in the middle. She was like, and now every time I turn around, Kim got my name in her mouth talking about, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a horrible person, blah, blah, blah. So she was like, at this point, I'm sick of all of it. And yeah, you're right. I stopped calling you because I got sick of being in the middle. So it sounds like whatever went down between that last fight argument that Jewel, and we know it was the drug use. Remember, Kim was saying, you know, the drugs was making things really bad. And I don't know, maybe Kim was trying to get everybody to help her get him into rehab or something like that. I don't know. But neither here nor there. What it sounds like is that the way the whole thing went down, it sounded like it messed up a lot of relationships. So they talk or whatever, and there really was no resolution to the conversation. They just sort of ended it, and that was it, and they went to another scene. So I'm not really sure where we stand with Yandy and Jewels. But we're in Costa Rica, you know. I ain't gonna go through all the ins and outs. We're in Costa Rica. Now, it looks like Kimbella and Sin are really clicking up. Like, they're really getting along really well. Sin and Juju are going to be bridesmaids. Now, as far as we know, Kimbella and Sin don't know each other that well. Now, I don't know how you went from just meeting somebody to becoming a bridesmaid, but okay. Maybe VH1 paying for the wedding. VH1 paying for the wedding, you can make whoever you want a bridesmaid. Okay? Okay. But they look like they really clicking up, you know. And Mano is there with Maggie. And, you know, he was like, look, I didn't know it was this serious. Like, I didn't realize it meant this much to you to be on the song. Mano, you knew. You just ain't want to run the song. So we're checking in. Now, Juju told Kimbella that Yandy was going to be there. But she didn't tell Yandy that Kimbella was going to be there. So Yandy's checking in. She looks up. And here's Miss Kimbella. And there is nothing worse than when you mad at somebody and they are unbothered. And that's exactly what happened. Kimbella is smiling. She is skipping through. You know, she is, like I said, she's on cloud 9. Like, nothing else matters other than her and Jewels getting married at this point. And she really, truly was unbothered. Like, she didn't give Yandy a second look. She ain't grit. She ain't roll her eyes. She ain't do nothing. Yandy, on the other hand, you could boil an egg on her forehead. She's so hot. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, why the fuck wouldn't Juju let me know that Kimbella was coming? Because why would I come somewhere just to be uncomfortable? Like, I'm not doing that. I'm supposed to be on vacation. Why would I do that? So we see Joe and Sin. Now, Joe done upgraded them, honey. He done took that VH1 room and he done upgraded it to the suite. And it is a beautiful suite. Honey, it's beautiful. To the point where Kimbella and Sin are like, you know, this look more like honeymoon or proposal type stuff right here. Like, this is... And Joe got something going on because he was like, well, y'all talk. I got to go talk to the concierge. What you talk to the concierge about, Joe? What you trying to set up? What you setting up, Joe? So last but not least, we see Maggie and Yandy talking. And Yandy's telling Maggie that she's irritated, that Juju didn't tell her Kimbella was on the trip, that, you know, she just don't want the aggravation. She just, you know, wanted a good time, and she doesn't feel like she's going to have a good time with Kimbella lurking around doing what Kimbella does. So, of course, Maggie felt like this was the perfect time to add fuel to the fire and tell Kimbella that, and tell Yandy all the stuff that Kimbella said at the vineyard that came via Jonathan. So, this is some he say, she say shit, because Jonathan messy ass, granted, it's true, he did say what he said, but still, Jonathan messy ass, who knows where he's getting his information from, but in this case, he actually is true. About the whole situation about Yandy doing stuff for clout, even down to becoming a foster child for Infinity. And Yandy goes off. It never ceases to amaze me how people connect dots that don't exist. Yandy went from Kimbella making the comment, questioning her reasoning for becoming a foster parent to Infinity. Next thing you know, she's comparing it to her being a bad parent. And I'm like, how you get from there to there? I didn't see the connection. So Juju walks up and Yandy lets Juju know that she's irritated. Like, why didn't you tell me Kimbella was here? You know, Kimbella's talking trash about me. Now she's questioning my parenting skills. And when they reiterated the story to Juju, Juju was like, I don't think she's questioning your parenting skills. Yes, she is, because you talking about something you think that I would just bring somebody into my house just for the purposes of some clout. Then you questioning my parenting. I don't really see the connection. I could be wrong, but I don't see the connection. Y'all let me know. Put in them comments. Tell me how that's a connection. I could see if you go around Robin Hood's barn how you get there, but that's just not a direct flight, boo. You made a couple of connections. Anyway, so that's kind of, next thing you know, Yandy says she leaving. She looking for flights, that she's getting up out of there. She can't do this. She can't do this. So that's pretty much where the episode ends, y'all. So next week, they're going to drag this Costa Rica trip out for about 3 episodes. So that's where we are with this one. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.